Hello everybody. I'm Eduardo Santiago and I'm the Art Society Coordinator, and I have been for, it feels like a really long time now. And one of my favorite things to do is the Idytalk, which is now in its third year, and I'm really happy with the way that they turn out. We get to present our students, and they take us through their artistic journey, or their story. It gives us the opportunity to see our students in a different way, in a more intimate way. And this event was planned for exactly a month ago, February 21st, and today is March 21st. And we had to call it because of weather, and we almost had to do it again. So I really want to thank our speaker tonight, Hannah Wakelin, for being such a trooper and just pushing through the snow and the rain to come and be with us tonight. So let's welcome Hannah with a warm round of applause.
Growing up and then I started dancing and that kind of thing. So, the next slide. So I'm a 4-year senior at Idyllwild Arts as a dance major, and I am from New Zealand. So I wanted to start out with this quote that I really like. It's called "Hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard," because it's kind of one of the first quotes that I really connected with, and that I've really enjoyed over the years, that it's pushed me and kind of connected with me, because no matter where you come from or how you start out, you can always work hard to improve on yourself despite what everyone else is doing. So growing up, as I said, I'm from New Zealand, and for a bit of comparison, our land is similar in size to the state of California, but our population is only around the size of Los Angeles. So it's everyone in that one city spread out across the entire country is kind of what it's like. So it's a lot less intense and dense as a lot of cities here in America. So it's kind of influenced how I grew up and just where I came from, because I feel like it made me a lot more humble and appreciative of what I have. Especially now leaving the country, I appreciate a lot more where I came from and how I got to grow up in this beautiful country, as you can see. And so, oh actually, sorry, could you go back? So I'm from Ashburton, which is down here. It's Christchurch, which is a major city here, and we're just an hour away from Christchurch. And a lot of you probably know Auckland, which is our largest city, which is all the way up here. And then, but that's not actually our capital. A lot of people think it might be, but our capital is Wellington, which is down here, and then as I said, Christchurch, and then my town that I'm from, Ashburton, is down here. So Ashburton, it's kind of a rural town. We have about 30,000 people, and it's a very tight-knit community, farming community originally started out. And as you can see from these photos, all my childhood was kind of spent outdoors exploring. There's so many things to do in New Zealand in general, if it be four-wheeling or skiing or going boating. This is us boating in the boat that my brother made. But this kind of just influenced who I am today. It's kind of always outside, hands-on, getting and exploring in the community that I'm in. So I grew up, you can see an old photo here with my mum, who is an ESL teacher, and she's also an EMT on the ambulance, and my dad, who trades shear stocks and is a volunteer firefighter in my town. And also my older brother here, he is in college at the moment for lighting and stage tech and design and management and all that kind of stuff, which is kind of funny to all of us because he would never be caught dead on stage, but he still kind of ended up in the same industry.
She's the one that made the boat?
Yes, he's the one that made the boat. So, as you can see here, this is when we were younger. Growing up, he was always inventing stuff and creating gadgets, and I was always his test dummy for any of his creations. So, I was testing out something of his. Yeah, I'm not sure what it was supposed to be, but so I always listened to him because he was my older brother, of course, but that kind of helped. We're always extremely close growing up, and that's influenced me a lot, being really close with my entire family, because they've always supported me and believed in me, sometimes even more than I did myself. They've always pushed me to go as far as I can and follow any of my dreams. And also you can see here this very stereotypical for New Zealand, but this is my pet sheep, Taylor. And all growing up I had pet lambs and sheep, but he was one of my favourites. And people wouldn't know, but if you raise them like a pet, they can be kind of like dogs. Like he would come inside and just follow me around anywhere I went, and he'd get sad when I left. So, next slide. So my schooling was quite a lot different from what I've experienced here and a lot of other American schools. So for starters, the year we're at school is different because we're in the southern hemisphere, so summer is in December, January. So we started school around February and went till November or December. So that's the winter time for us. And also you can see here I'm wearing a school uniform, which is normal for New Zealand. It's more unusual to not have a school uniform, so that's very different from here. And my primary school, which is elementary here, that I went to, was a very small rural school. There was only about 70 students. So it was kind of similar now, coming back to Idyllwild, how it's very small and you kind of know everyone, and just a close-knit community and getting to know everyone that you're growing up with. And going to school, I was involved in a lot. Here, this is our lip sync group. We're called the Wonka Nerds. So I did things like lip sync, and that's there. Me and my friends in choir. I was in the school council, and just all those kinds of things, getting involved in my community. And this here is one of my friend's favourite photos of me. That was when I was 6 years old. I'm missing front teeth. Yeah. So my dance journey. My mum told me that I was always dancing from when I was born, even before I could walk. I was wriggling around, and so a friend of hers suggested her that I start Highland dancing. So it's a lot more common to do Scottish Highland dancing at home, because especially a lot of the original immigrants to New Zealand were from Europe and Scotland and that kind of thing. So I started Highland dancing when I was 3. And this was one of my first ever classes. Not maybe as skilled as I am now. But that kind of just gave me a base. I did that for a really long time, and it gave me a lot of opportunities to perform and be on stage. We went to a lot of competitions, and just kind of gave me the strength and my base in dance that I use now. So then when I was around 10 or 11, my Highland teacher decided to move up to Christchurch. So it was kind of a decision to keep going, and it was kind of going to be a more serious commitment to stick to it, but I decided to stop Highland, and that's when I started jazz and ballet and those kinds of things. So here's just some photos of some jazz exams and dancing. And that's where I started doing more conventional styles, but I still only did 1 or 2 hours a week of dancing compared to where we do 5+ hours a day here. So not quite as much training as what I came to expect here, but that's kind of where I started at, and that's kind of what was hard for me in the beginning, coming to adult arts especially. I'd had the training and background that a lot of kids had, so kind of my quote, hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard, just kind of catching up with everyone and trying best to keep working hard. So as well as dancing, while I was at home, I did a lot of theatre and musical theatre. Our town had a children's theatre group that I was a part of where we did one musical show a year. So we did things like Annie. Here I was Sandy the dog, Annie. We also did things like Fame with my school, Seussical, Peter Pan, Aladdin, and all those kinds of things which I really enjoyed doing and just being out on stage. So one thing that a lot of people here don't know about me, I also did singing before I came here. So I started singing lessons when I was about 8 years old, and though lots of people probably would make fun of it, I did a lot of country music. So there was a country music competition that I did a lot of when I was younger, and that kind of thing. I just really enjoyed the group of friends that I made within it and getting to meet all the new people. And performing this here was Christmas in the Park. I was singing something about Two Front Teeth, the Christmas song. And so I performed and sang in lots of different fundraisers and that kind of thing that my teacher set up for me. So with all that theatre and dance that I did, in 2014 when I was 13, I auditioned for the New Zealand team for the World Championships of Performing Arts, which is a performing arts competition here in LA. So in July 2014 I came to LA for this competition. So as well as the competition part, we participated in lots of master classes. So I got to take dance classes from lots of different industry professionals, which is kind of where I started branching out and getting more experience from all these different people. And something that was really special about this experience was the people I met. This girl here, she was from Namibia in Africa, and her name was also Hannah. And we only knew each other for 1 week, but over that week we bonded and became really, really close. And even though it was 5 years ago now, I still talk to her sometimes today, which is really special, and just having all those different bonds, especially our teammates as well. And I kind of thought it was like Idyllwild in a way, because all these different people coming from so many different countries around the world to compete, but also share their experiences and bond over art and what they do and what they enjoy doing with their arts. So these are some photos from when I was competing. I did 3 different dances. I did one just Highland dance, a fling. I did a musical theatre, I guess you could say, dance, which was I did a song from Aladdin. And then also one that I was really proud of, I did a dance that was a combination of jazz and Highland. So I kind of wanted to make a dance that was kind of, because Highland was where I came from and where I started dancing, and then combine it with then what I was doing now with the more jazz and conventional kind of stuff. So from the competition, as an individual, I got a silver medal for one of my dances and the industry award, which was what the judges voted on people and chose contestants that they believed had what it could work within the industry, and they had what it would take to work within the performing arts industry, and just kind of the attitude and appearance and look that would work. And then as a team, we won a bronze medal for our team performance, which was a piece that we put together over 2 days to Lord's song, and we got a bronze medal for that, which we were really happy about. But then we also won the Spirit Award, which went to the country's team, just kind of showed everything that's supporting other teams and supporting each other, which we were really happy about because it was the first time the New Zealand team had won that award, and we felt it really showed New Zealand and how we are, and just supporting others and really community-based and looking out for others despite, even if we don't know them or haven't talked to them before, just supporting each other. And so these are just some newspaper clippings from when I was away, but I just wanted to show the town that I came from isn't particularly big, and I've always had a lot of support from everyone back home, and people at the newspaper have always supported me, and I've had people that I've never met before ask me about how I'm doing and kind of where I'm going next. So I'm really appreciative for all the support I've had back at home. And from the competition, there was a lot of different people at the World Champs, representatives from different schools and companies and that kind of thing. And I got an interview for a different school here in Idyllwild, and they ended up accepting me, but then lots happened, and they ended up not running the school for the year I was supposed to come, my freshman year. And so, long story short, someone from the board at that school suggested Idyllwild Arts to me. And so in a very short amount of time, a matter of weeks, I applied to school and got accepted, and Dom got my I-20 sorted so I could come for my freshman year. And because it was kind of last minute in the end, my parents didn't want to just send me over here, and also there wasn't any room in the dorms. So for my freshman year at Idyllwild, my dad came with me and I lived as a day student. which I think in the end was a really good transition for me, because even when he was here, it was really hard with homesickness, always being really close with my family and my country and my community. So it was kind of that transition for me. But I still remember the first day driving into Idyllwild when I was coming for a tour, and the first day how much I was shaking and how terrified I was. But I think it all worked out in the end. 4 years later, here I am. So every year in the dance department we have a professional dance photographer come up from LA to take photos, and we can get individual photo shoots if we want, which I think is really amazing, because in LA if we're just going individually to him, I think it would cost way more than we have to pay. And so these photos here, this is from my freshman year, and these were my sophomore year, my second year here. And this was this year, my senior year last year. And so here at Idyllwild we get so many different opportunities to do so many different experiences. And one of the things I'm a part of is the children's program that we run. So every Saturday I come down and teach the children ballet. So my class is the 3 and 4 year olds, so the really tiny babies. And this is my class last year. And I really love it, especially with such young kids. Like, they haven't been to school before even, so being in a class setting is new to them, and just being able to see their progress from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, not even in dance, just being able to listen to the teacher and stand in a line and follow directions. I was very proud of them this year. They were able to walk in a circle without holding hands and keep the circle. So that was impressive for them this year. But just being able to see their progress throughout the year and kind of how it helps them develop, it makes me very proud. I'm very appreciative to be able to do that and teach them. So in the dance department we have 2 main stage performances each year, as well as a student choreography concert. So these are just some photos from concerts I've done throughout the years. And for the 2 main stage, they are choreographed by our teachers, which I think is really great because we get to work with all the different teachers, and I've worked with almost all of the teachers that teach us now. And just being able to see how the different choreographers work and how to see how they do their strategy different, and following along with them, needing to work with the different people and then putting their vision up on stage in your body. And then also in our spring concert, which we just had last week, we also do a ballet. So over the years I've done Cinderella, Firebird, Alice in Wonderland, and then just Midsummer's Night Dream. And for me, I'm really proud of myself personally, because over the years I've seen my improvement in the concert. And just last week Jonathan caught one of the soloist parts in the ballet on point, which I never would have expected me to be even think of being able to do, because I had 1 hour of ballet a week, which isn't very much, and I'm definitely not on point, just not ballet person at all. And still not now, but being able to do that on stage, and it shows also my teachers. I'm very lucky to have them, and they always were there for me and kept me going. Even if I wasn't feeling great about myself, they still supported me and pushed me to be even better. And as well, one of the amazing things Idyllwild does, we get to go with certain pieces down the hill to different showcases and performances and competitions. So with this piece here was a piece by Stephanie that we did off the hill at the gala a couple years ago in Beverly Hills, and we also took that to Pasadena Dance Festival. And then this piece here, which is one of my favourite pieces I've been in, we went to Shining Star Festival, and just all these different experiences, being able to get off the hill and see how different people are working on what is happening in the industry at the moment, kind of show our work to others and get that experience from everyone else and what they're doing, and just kind of see the world and how it's growing is really important. So as I said, as well as our main performances each year that our teachers choreograph, we just did a choreography show. So this is my piece last year, but all the juniors and seniors each get to choreograph their own piece. So last year I did a kind of 50s style jazz piece, which was a lot different to some of the pieces that other people did. And it's just a really great experience for us, especially going out into the world later on. Many of us are going to choreograph, because everything is up to us. We have to cast our piece and choreograph it and teach it to the dancers and do the costumes and the lighting, and just everything is up to us. So it's kind of with guidance if we need it, but it's just really great to see, because we get to see the other perspective from our choreographer's side and kind of get that mutual respect of how hard it can be sometimes putting your piece onto others and teaching them and getting it to look the way that you may want it, even if it's kind of different to what the dancers might usually do. So something else I do at school is I'm part of the Challenge Success team. So Challenge Success is a nationwide program that kind of promotes the well-being of students and faculty and reducing stress within schools. So it's something that Idyllwild joined last year, and they asked me to be one of the student representatives on our team. So this is our team last year, and we have gone to Stanford for 3 different conferences over the time that we've done it, and we kind of come back and bring the knowledge that we got from those conferences and share it with our school and try to implement changes. Like we've done things like a fishbowl where students were talking and then faculty had to just listen to what they were saying, and just done different surveys and try to change things within the school to reduce stress for everyone really. And so for me, it really helped me see my own development as just a person, because at these conferences we would go to different talks throughout the day, and some of them were just students. So I go on my own to a room of 15 different kids that I've never talked to before in my life, and the first few conferences was very scary for me, but then I could see by the end, last conference I went to, I could just see I came into my own voice and built my confidence, and I was more happy to share what we're doing with our school and talk to these other students that are like me, which really helped with my experience, because it was really special to be able to talk to other students, even though they're from very different schools. They might be very academic, college-driven schools, but then I could still see the similarities between our school and theirs, and be able to talk with students that kind of had the same ambition as me to improve their own school. And then it's built a lot of responsibilities for me, going to team meetings and making all school announcements, which used to be very scary for me. Now I do quite a lot, and just implementing things within the school. And also Arts and Society, which is part of what brought me here today. So we just kind of bring art into the community, and I participate in Smarts, which every Friday they go into the Idyllwild school and teach different arts, and we help the teachers out and the local artists teaching the kids. And just last week we did the NHS Smarts Day, which we went in, and me and some other dancers taught 2 different classes of dance to the kids, which went way better than I was expecting, because especially if you have a whole class of 30 kids that not necessarily chose to come do dance for the day, but being able to get them involved and excited and listening to you, which was really a great experience. Oh, and also these here photos was from the Living Free Howling Owl, which was last year I think. We went and we face painted at the Idyllwild Arts booth, which I really enjoyed because it was a very different crowd to what we might usually be in. It was a lot of the Idyllwild locals around, so we kind of got to speak to a lot of more local people that we might not usually when we're on campus, just kind of see more of what the community is like and the amazing community feeling that's in Idyllwild. So among all of those other things that I've talked about, Idyllwild has just given me so many different experiences. I'm also part of NHS, as I said, and I've been writing a math tour, and here with NHS we got to go tree planting after the fire, and taking ballroom lessons for intermester, and going to ice hockey games, and all the amazing different teachers that I've had. It's just given me so many different opportunities that I wouldn't have had or experienced if I'd been at home, and just seeing the different culture and being surrounded by so many diverse people and talking to people with maybe different ideas from me, but still seeing their experiences and the different worldview that I have since I came to Idyllwild. So back home, I go home every summer, which is winter at home, and Christmas break. So I have a lot of winter. I go home for summer break and it's winter back home. But it's okay. I like skiing, so I can go skiing at home when I'm home for summer break. But before the summer of junior year, so the last summer, I applied for an AEL Arts Enterprise Laboratory grant and received this grant from school, which allowed me to run a dance workshop back in my hometown. So in Ashburn, I ran this workshop and I had to do everything. I had to organise the venue and the marketing, which this year, and I put in the newspapers and I get all the girls enrolled and do the teaching of the classes. And because of the grant, I was able to pay for all of those things, so the girls didn't have to pay to come to my classes. And I just asked them for donations, which I ended up being able to donate $1,000 to Cancer Society at home, which I was very thankful to be able to give back to the community that's always given so much to me. And just teaching these classes, seeing these girls, being able to kind of give them an experience that they don't often have in my small town, someone coming back and giving them these classes and seeing them try to do everything and always having a smile on their face, and then me hopefully inspiring them to do more. I was just very grateful for that opportunity and the grant that allowed me to do so. So my future. So at the moment I'm applying, in the process of applying and finding out from colleges. I would like to go to college in the US, but because of cost of international and all that kind of thing, I may end up going to college back at home. But I've been applying for kind of pre-medical studies, which is very different from a lot of the students at Idyllwild and kind of what you would expect. But I hope the ultimate goal to become a paediatrician, and then I hope to bring my art back in after I've done all that kind of thing. But I would love to use dance as a therapy for especially children, because even teaching in the baby ballet program or teaching my workshop at home, I can kind of see how it helps the kids grow. And I remember a very specific moment in my dance workshop. One of the younger girls, we were trying to do a grapevine, which is just crossing your legs over, and I could see her brain working so hard to try and she could not figure out how to get her legs to move in the right way to cross them over. But I could just see the pathways in her brain being created and kind of seeing how that made her grow and develop as a person. And then just even using it as a physical therapy. And I can see the enjoyment that it brings so many people. So that's why I want to kind of, after my medical studies, kind of use my dance training that I've had and will keep up throughout my schooling then in the future with that. So I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone that has supported me, especially my family, for always being there for me and pushing me to strive for my biggest dreams. And to the Carpenter family for being my adoptive family during breaks and always looking out for me while I'm at school. And just to the greater, broader Idyllwild community for everything that has given me and the scholarship that has allowed me to come to school, and just everything that Idyllwild has given me over the years. I'll be forever grateful. And to Amado for bringing me here today. So you can go to the next one. So thank you everyone for coming out again. Does anyone have any questions?
Can we applaud now? Oh, yeah, so you're very close to your family.
Yes.
Is it difficult to be away for 9 months like this? How does it work for you guys? Do you communicate on all the time?
We video chat and text a lot.
Oh.
Especially when I first came, it was very difficult. I had a lot of homesickness my sophomore year with them when I wasn't with Dad and I was living in the dorms, which was really hard for me, but I had a lot of good friends that helped me through it. And then in the end, I've gotten used to it, and it's just kind of got better over the years, and now I'm grateful for the time that I do have with them when I spend with them, and just grateful that we are so close And for technology, being able to contact them, I can call them and see their face and text almost every day. So, yeah.
Well, I guess that's it. I guess you fulfilled it. Let's see if I can get it gracefully. I should take a dance class. Thank you so much. So another round of applause. I'm so happy you did this, and I'm so glad that we went ahead and rescheduled it. It was totally worth it. Thank you guys for coming, and thank you to John Millhouse for letting us have the space, always on short notice. And thank you for coming.